All right. What's going on, world? Happy Thursday. Decided to jump online for a moment. I know it's Friday. Kind of go over. Today is what we call the dating tip day. Today is Thursday. I got a couple date tips for you today. I'm gonna go ahead and go through a few. But before we get started, just want to let you know, like I always say, this is not a podcast. I'm not a. This is a platform. I'm not a guru. I'm not a relationship expert. I'm not a matchmaker. I'm just a guy with a microphone and an opinion. And this platform is really for everybody to come aboard and kind of want to talk about their own experiences in dating, or anybody that wants to come on and talk about, just relationship talk or whatever. It's not about me. It's about y'all. We call this Date Night the People's Platform. Also, just to kind of remind you, we will have a date night dating website, date night dating websites, date night online. That'll be coming up soon. Also, a few shows that I have lined up. I'll also have a cooking show that we're actually in the process of trying to get everything started with that date night meals. Also, I had this idea about a game show, right? Like a little internet game show. And what I decided to do, I'm going to go ahead and just have like some couples come on. Just want to see how much do you know about the person that you're actually dating? Even if you're not a couple, let's just say, for instance, if you say you've been dating somebody for, it's a little bit, and you think you may know a little bit more about them. But I got this idea where I want to have some couples, people that's dating, come on. And then what I'll do is we'll have a round of questions for you, and let's see how much do you know about this particular person. Hadn't came up with the actual title for it, but it'll definitely be centered around how much do you know about this person. That'll be coming up, a new idea I just came up with. Other than that, I just wanted to kind of share this article I read with Women's Health magazine. It gives you 11 the 11 rules of dating. The 11 rules of dating. Basically, this article was written and kind of give you an idea of, or some dating tips on, whenever you're dating, some things to think about while you're out there. I want to kind of share with everybody out there today. Also, I do have Tmarie. She's going to join us a little bit later. And Tmarie, that's one of my compadres. And she's going to come on. We're going to also go through the dating tips as well. I just want to let everybody know I do appreciate all the support. Appreciate everybody that comes and watch the videos. But the thing that's going to actually keep this going is actually the subscriptions. It's very, very important. Even if you don't subscribe to the channel, at least like, dislike, leave your comments, share. Those are the type of things that help keep platforms like this alive. Just kind of want to get some feedback. Again, this is really about getting to a point where we can understand how dating works, and also how some tips and trying to figure out what exactly it is, what you want, and how you can also get that. So let's go ahead and get started with this article. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you for a moment. All right. So this is number one. It says date multiple people at once. Date multiple people at once. This is number one of the 11 dating rules that I saw out of the Women's Health magazine. I'll put the link in the actual comment section. Okay, date multiple people at once. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. My opinion on that. I definitely can understand, some benefits of it. They always say, keep your keep your options open. Keep your options open, especially in the beginning. You want to kind of see who you might have the best synergy with. Just locking in is okay, but you also want to make sure that you are able to see what's out there, understand what's out there, and how you're going to achieve the things you desire as far as the next stage after dating, which is courting. Once again, I also want to emphasize that when I say the stages of dating, in my opinion, I always say, well, actually, it's not even an opinion. It's actual a fact that there is an order. Typically, it's dating, where you actually just gathering information. So that's why it says here in dating multiple people at once. That's a good idea to gather as much information, for you to decide, what's for you. Then you got courting, and then of course you have marriage if you decide to. So that number one, dating people at once is definitely a good rule to follow, in my opinion. Only because, again, whenever you're coming off of bad situations, you want to make sure that while you're gathering the information, data is definitely important. And as much as data as you can gather, whether it be from one person or multiple people at one time, you can definitely figure out what it is that you want and some of the things that you don't even want as well. So let's go ahead and move to number two. Move to number two. All right. Keep dates short. Keep dates short. That particular rule, keep dates short. I think that's, in my opinion, that's a definitely a great rule to follow. Sometimes when we're in the space of dating, and depending upon where we are, sometimes what happens is we can get caught up in the as Anita Baker said, caught up in the rapture of what someone may be saying. And a lot of times too much information can be good, but also too much of it can be bad as well, because it'll actually keep you in places you probably later found out that you may not want to be. According to this article, it says a 90-minute date is definitely ideal. I've had those dates where I've probably I've probably been in a situation where you get there at 8, you look up, it's about 12, right? You guys have probably said at one point, bye. You done said bye about 3-4 times, and and that's only because you spend like 4 or 5 hours with a person. Now, I'm not a opponent of long dates, but I think keep dates short. It's definitely a good rule because, again, it gets you straight to the point, gives you enough time to kind of digest, just enough information, because too much information, you got to go back and you got to sift through. You got to kind of, run back the whole particular night, and you want to make sure you get the most important information. So oversaturation of too much time definitely can be a something that you may want to kind of reconsider. Get as much information you can within that 90-day period. And again, these are rules. Women's Health Magazine. This is not the date night rules. These are actually dating rules from the Women's Health article. So again, keep dates short. I truly believe as minimum information can also be the best information. So that which equals less time on an actual date. So let's move to number 3. All right, to number 3. Be upfront about wanting a relationship. Be upfront about wanting a relationship. There's so much that's definitely important. I can definitely say that. You want to. The thing about it is that letting people know where you are in the beginning stage is so vital. One thing you always want to make sure is that you want to put yourself in a position where so that you can always tell a person, "I told you." As I stated before, I am here in my life at this point. I may or may not want a relationship. But also when you initially say it, in my opinion, you always want to kind of along the way of dating, you want to make sure that you're giving the person, you're letting the person know where you are. We don't want to get into situations where we look up and a person may be somewhere where you may not want them to be. You may not be ready at this stage, and they may be. And sometimes having those conversations and reminding people, hey, like I mentioned before, I'm just coming out of a relationship. I'm dating for a purpose, but right now I may not be dating forever. But I truly want to take my time out to figure out what it is that I desire. And then you have to ask a person if that's something they were looking to sign up on. I mean, at least you can always come back and say, hey, I told you up front in the beginning that I may or may not want a relationship. So that's definitely important. It cuts back from a whole lot of confusion. And then it also gives you a little bit more clarity and possibly see who and what you're actually dealing with at that particular moment. So always be upfront with a person. Make sure that you emphasize with yourself first. Make sure you do your checks and balances within yourself that first, and then be upfront with yourself. And then after you're upfront with yourself, be upfront with the person that you may or may not want to consider. It makes it a lot much easier for you. So let's move on to the number 4. Number 4 rule of dating. Let me see. Avoid talking about exes on early dates. Okay, I'm somewhat, and I have been guilty of that. It's not because you miss a person. A lot of times it's only because, sometimes venting to others, sometimes it sometimes can sound like, this person may not be over this person. Sometimes venting is definitely beneficial for a lot of people, especially coming out of relationships or whatnot. But you want to try to avoid those conversations about exes. It gets very dull. One, it also brings a lot of skepticism between you and that particular person that you're trying to get to know at that particular time. So in the beginning, yes, is it important to let a person know where I've been out of divorce, or I've recently broke up within XY amount of time. Those things are definitely important in the early stages, but kind of stay away from details. I had to learn too much information is not always the best information. Just stay on course on the now. And at some point, if they want to know about that particular person later on in the actual dating stage, then I can probably see some people may want to know more so where you're, where you from, where journeys of dating you've taken and who with, because sometimes it can give you a little bit of context of what a particular person may be. So avoid talking about exes on early dates. Let's go ahead and move to number 5. Number 5. The number 5. Pay more attention to follow through than advanced planning. Pay more attention to follow through than advanced planning. Okay. That one right there. Pay more attention to follow up through. Okay. Right. And this is my own interpretation. If you have any comments or your own, even in the chats, if you have your own interpretation of what this may be, for me, it seems, and I can be wrong, but it says pay more attention to follow through. Yes, sometimes people can, I believe sometimes people can actually, you know what? I got the right person coming in at the number 5. She a little late, but it's okay. We're gonna make sure we catch her up. She's gonna kind of go back and forth because these type of topics I I definitely like to see a woman's perspective. Let me go ahead and bring Ms Tmarie into the fold. What's up,
Hey
T?
y'all, hey y'all.
What's
Y'all
up?
know I
What's
be
up?
doing 16 billion, 4,020 other things. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Mark.
What's up? What's up? What's up? We over here holding it down. We on number 5, and okay. So real quick, a quick recap.
Okay.
I've given the first. I've given the first 4. Right. Number 5. Number 5. I want to go back because I want to see what you may say. How you may interpret this particular rule.
Okay.
Of the 11 dating rules. I want you to go ahead and start from number 1. I'll touch it, but then you go ahead and give me your
Okay.
thoughts on the first 4. So let's go ahead and start back on
Number one.
number 1. Yeah, let's
Okay.
go ahead and start back on number 1. Okay. Actually, let me go back to the top. Let me go all the way back to the top of the article right quick. Go ahead to the top of the article just to make sure. A couple people may. So it's the 11 dating rules you should probably try to follow.
Nice.
The 11 dating rules you should probably try to follow. So go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and go back to the first one. Let me see. Go up here. Okay, date multiple people at once. We've talked about this a couple times, Timmy
Yeah.
Reed. Go ahead and touch on the number 1. Date multiple people at once.
So anybody who knows me, they know this is my golden rule. You should definitely, definitely, definitely date more than one person at a time. Because what happens is, especially for women, and women need to date like men. And I know you're like, what? We need to date like men. You need to learn at least, because I can promise you, men are not just dating you when they meet you. And you as a woman need to take on the same capacity. So dating somebody is not the same as sleeping with somebody, okay? Dating is not a status. So you can't be like, well, am I doing wrong? Am I doing too much at one time? No, because dating is just the opportunity to dating is just the opportunity to gather data on someone. So you definitely should be dating more than one person at a time. You know how I feel about this. It's just like when you shopping. When you buying jeans or buying clothes, you try on the first pair of jeans. That's not the first ones you buy. They fit, but it's still a little something, about them. You try on another pair and you really like how those fit. See, just think if you had went and just stuck with the very first one. You would have just had some jeans that was like, they okay, they fit, but they just okay. To me, when you date more than one person, you give yourself the opportunity to be able to choose what it is that you're actually looking for instead of getting stuck with something that you have to settle for.
Right, right. I can definitely agree,
Yeah.
and I kind of touched on it. My opinion was actually the same. I mean, you want to try to gather as much information, whether you with one person or two. Sometimes going
Yeah.
on dates can help you discover a little bit more about yourself.
Yep.
It gives you a little bit more about what you're gravitating toward. You can always use it as a tool to try to, finally give you a little bit direction as far as where you would like to go at that time.
Yeah.
So that's definitely important for that. So let's go ahead and move to the number 2. I kind of touched on that one earlier. All right, we're going to move to the second one. Keep dates short. And you see here it says, and I want you to touch on this part. And why do you think this says 90 minutes on the keep date shorts?
Nice. That's good. Because what you do, you don't give somebody so much of your time. Give yourself an opportunity to get in, get what you need to get a feel for the person, get out. And guess what else you do when you do that? You leave them wanting more. You leave them like, you know what? Dang, I wish I could have spent more time with that person. You don't waste a lot of time in that first space. That other person doesn't waste a lot of time in that first space. And then it actually gives the person that you're interested in the opportunity to be like, you know what? I actually would like to see more of that person. So I'm good on that. Keep it short. Don't stay all day. Give yourself another opportunity to do something else. Spending all this time in one space, you may get one version of a person. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself an opportunity to see them and discover them in another space.
Yeah, yeah, and I also said it, and probably said it differently. I was saying a lot of times when you get too much information, sometimes you can get so overwhelmed to a point where it can get so much confused. You got to go back and try to remember this and that, especially in the beginning, because that's when you're probably at your most heightened point. You know what I mean? Your scepters are up, and and sometimes you can go into overload by too much time, too much information.
Yeah,
you end up blowing a circuit.
Wanting more. Don't over. It's like overeating. Don't eat so much. Get full enough. To where you have an appetite to eat again. You know what I'm to experience them again. So yeah, don't stay too long. Let them miss you.
Right. All right. So number 3. Let's go up to number 3. Let me see. Number 3 is be upfront about wanting a relationship. I tapped on this. But go ahead. I want to hear what your thoughts on that one.
I have to agree. I think you should be upfront about whatever it is you want. If you want a relationship, put that out there. If you want something casual, put it out there. Give the person the opportunity to know what it is that you're looking for, and that way, again, you're not wasting a lot of time. There's no reason for me to wait to the 3rd date to let you know that I'm looking for a relationship. In actuality, if I'm looking for a relationship, that's something I should let you know as we're starting to date. So I'm dating, but I'm dating because I want a relationship, or I'm dating, but I'm just looking for something casual. That way, you don't waste your time. You don't waste the person's time. I'm really big about wasting time on people. Mm-hmm. Time is the one thing you cannot get back. So you need to be very careful where you spend that. So know what you want. And if it's a relationship that you want, let them know. If it's not, let them know. Give them the choice.
Right. Give them the choice. And then you can always tell, and whenever you get into those situations where it gets kind of sticky, whatever, you at least you have that card of saying, listen, this is what I told you up front. This is where I was. This is it's not a mystery. And that's your card to sometimes diffuse those situations where you may not want to be bothered. You know what I mean? That's your thing. So I definitely agree with that. So let's go to number 4. Avoid talking about exes on early dates. Go ahead.
I don't know why we're talking about exes anyway, unless that's a question that somebody asks you about. There's no reason for me to bring up anything about my ex, especially if I'm moving forward with anybody. So if we're having a question, if the person that I'm dating, the person you're dating is asking about that, then we can touch on it, but definitely don't spend a lot of time on it at all. And no matter what it was, don't make it negative. Don't make it negative. Don't tell everything. You can say we just weren't a good match. It didn't work out. Because what you'll do too, you can start listing all the things that person did. And if somebody's actually, trying to manipulate the situation, they can avoid doing those things until they, I'm talking about until they get around to really getting to know you. So it's about giving them too much, like you said, information at one time. Why would you want to even have that conversation? So unless somebody asks you about your ex-child, that's a non-factor.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and not defending it, if that ever happens, like I said before, I probably, and depending upon time, and probably I might not have been dating, I guess. But like I said, if I've ever done that, it definitely has been more venting and now. But looking on the other side, I can definitely I can definitely see how it may look. You know what I mean? Like doing it, but let's move to number 5. This is the one I had a question about. Okay. And before I want you to read it, but I'm gonna say this. Okay. This is what I interpret, and you tell me what your thoughts, and we'll go into it. Okay. It says pay more attention to follow through than advanced planning. So, I basically, I guess they say, this is how I interpret it. I say, well, I tell you, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what we're gonna do, and then make sure that I follow up on that. That's how that's how interpret it. But I think the follow through or the follow up would be the action. Anytime someone plans certain things, pay attention to make sure that the action is going to follow.
Right.
And don't let the planning outweigh the follow through.
The follow up, right.
Right. Because
Right.
that's the thing that you really definitely need to pay attention to. I'll just say that. What are your thoughts on that one?
I agree that the follow up is really the telltale. We can
Right.
say anything, right? We all talk, people talk and they say whatever. The follow up, like you said, is the action part of what you're talking about. So if somebody's like, yeah, let's do this, like, great, that's awesome. But pay
Right.
attention to how how you'll know how intentional they are about taking you out or really wanting to do something with you when they follow up with, does this work for you? I'm just following up to see if this day is going to be good for you. And checking to make sure that I actually still want to go out with you. I still want to see you. So yeah, I think because talk is just that, talk, and in this day and time right now, how caught up have we gotten into? Let me see what he gonna do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That has become a thing. Well, let me see if he gonna plan the date. Let me see what he gonna do. Let me see what he gonna do. Okay, but that's cool and all. But let me see how he gonna follow up. Let me see if he's going to set the standard. Let me see if he's gonna open the door to talking about let's go out. So yeah, definitely. People will say a lot of stuff in the beginning, but it's definitely gonna be that follow up that lets you know how they really feeling about you.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to number 6. I haven't seen this one. Don't feel obligated to send a thank you text. Absolutely. Go ahead and test it. Go ahead and start this one off.
I don't really know. I guess you don't have to feel obligated. I think, and I'm just being a lady, I guess, to say thanks.
Right.
I enjoyed your time. That was cool. Because I feel like especially as a woman, if a man is taking you out, I just think, the follow up thank you is really the telltale if I like you or not. For me, because I'm just letting you know how I appreciate it. So I don't know if you should feel. I feel like that should be a proper thing to do. I'm interested. I'm interested to see how you feel about it. One, and what they're saying about it. Don't feel.
Okay. So check this out, because I don't think you should be obligated to do it.
Okay.
Almost anything in the beginning. So I'll say that. Let's just start there.
Yeah.
But I do feel that a thank you text. Maybe, yeah, thank you text maybe, thank you. Me, I always say, nice hanging out with you. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank it was nice meeting you, But look, I'm going to do this. Let me see the reason on why they say it.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it. Oh, man, the thank you text. Is there any text more debated and controversial than the one that directly follows the first date?
Right.
I know some people think the woman absolutely should send one shortly after the end of the first date to let the other person know that she's interested. And then others think it should always fall on the guy, assuming you're pursuing a male prospect. So
That's what I was saying. Like, I think when a woman does it, and then just speaking for myself, it's me letting you know that I'm interested and I appreciate it. If I don't say thank you, then I'm really not interested.
Right,
That's
right.
really kind of how it go.
Oh man, look at this number 7. Give them 2 weeks to reach out again.
Who?
I think. Well, listen. I think. Okay, I'm glad you said this. So, I told someone this before. I said in the beginning, we first meet. Let's say we exchange numbers, right? And then we may have talked a couple times, right? Now, let's just say if you're doing online dating, I'm gonna use that as another good example. Online dating, right? We talk a couple times, and let's just say, for instance, as we all say, life be lifing.
Life
right?
be lifing. That's right.
Life be lifing, and so we haven't formally met, we haven't seen each other, but let's just say, for instance, if a person does not reach out after 2 weeks, I'm gonna say this. Throughout my experience, I've probably shot 50-50 on this. But I had to tell a young lady one time before, it may have been a month since the last time you talked to me. That's happened. It's been a month the last time you talked to me. I thought about you. And just check on you, see how you was doing. She understand my position on that, but then I can also say where with some it didn't work. But understand that if for me, I'll just say if I haven't reached out to you, maybe because we haven't formally met, I think after a few dates or whatnot, then if you fall off after a week or two, then that person may not be interested. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning of dating, we can't say, "Oh, I talked to you twice, and then I hear from you." Well, a person make time for things that he want. Well, really, I don't know you. I really don't know you to make that time yet. So that may not apply in the first week, but anytime after 2 weeks, I can definitely say yes, absolutely. If they reach out, then case by case basis, but they're probably not interested in having reached out to you after 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, I feel a little differently about this one, and for a couple of reasons.
Okay.
Because even if you've met somebody online, right?
Okay.
And life does be life. Life does life. Things come up, things happen, and if you haven't spent any time with them, it's easy a little bit to be like, make that person not so much of a priority because you don't really know them like that. But you have to understand, you getting to know somebody, if you're interested in them, people don't fall off for 2 weeks like that if they're really interested in you. Let's think about if we're.
What about in the beginning though, Tmarie? What about if we just didn't talk?
If I'm getting to know you, if I like you, right? How am I falling off in 2 weeks? How am I being intentional about trying to figure out if I like you? See, if you're not talking to me within, if you were able, say if we've had some initial conversation, right? And you were able to go 2 weeks without talking to me, then our initial conversation really wasn't connecting. Just think about how often you've talked to somebody and you're like, dang, I want to talk to them again. I want to see how they're doing. And then compare that to somebody that you didn't talk to for a couple of weeks. And the reason why was because you really didn't have that much interest in them for real. Now, it's not to say that they can't come back and be like, things were going on or whatever was happening. And, now I'm interested and maybe I got some time, maybe that's what it's saying. Maybe things happen in 2 weeks, but I just don't believe in my heart of hearts and in my experience that if you like somebody and you're interested in them, even if you're interested in being interested in them, that you can go 2 weeks without having any conversation.
I don't know if I'm like, we just met. We only talked on the phone once. I don't know if I'm interested or not in the first conversation.
Okay. Let's be real. If you talk on the phone, I'm being honest. You talked on the phone to this person, right? And usually when you first talk to somebody and you like them, y'all spend about a good 30 minutes on the phone. If you found some
let's say 30 minutes, right?
Let's say 30 minutes. Okay, so if you get off the phone after spending 30 minutes with somebody and you're not like, you know what, I want to talk to them tomorrow, then the first 30 minutes, there was nothing that was in that conversation that made you interested in them. You understand what I'm saying? Because anything that you're interested in, you want to continue the process. Not stop and be like, well, you know what, I'm going to pick back up in 2 weeks.
I mean, I can see it, but I guess, I don't know.
I'm telling you,
it may take.
I don't like this.
I know, but it may take it may take me a second conversation to really grab. Listen, like the first conversations to me, right? I would probably say, and being a conversationalist that I can be. One thing I can say is that it's probably like basic. It might be basic things. And so I said, okay, I may be intrigued more, but not, I don't know if I can consider myself being interested. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'll just say I only feel like I'm obligated to stay within. Like if I'm dating you and we get to know each other, my rule of thumb is we're gonna talk, and especially in the beginning, or text every day. That's just
Right.
me, right?
Yeah,
Now if we miss a day,
right,
right?
right.
If we miss a day, okay, 3, 4 days. When we get about 3, 4, then we got to reevaluate what's
We got
going on.
exactly because there's absolutely.
Right,
But I
right,
feel the same way like with this, and we won't stay here. If even
right.
if you're intrigued, you go back to see. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see where there's an interest
Right.
or
I don't
something.
know. I don't know.
Mark, I just don't believe
Let's
that
just
there's.
say it's a case by case basis. I would probably say. I'll
All
say
right,
it's a
I'll let
case
you
by
have it.
case.
But ladies,
I'll
I
say
don't
that.
believe.
I'll
But
say.
ladies, don't fall for that. Okay, doke, right there. If they ain't
Well,
talked to you in 2 weeks,
well, of course,
gone.
2 weeks is 2 weeks
2 weeks too
maybe.
long.
Yeah. Okay. 2 weeks too long. Oh hell no.
Ding.
Wait at least a few days to have sex. Listen. You know what? Let me do this. Let me read this. Let me
Read
read
it.
this. Look,
Yeah.
I saw some. I saw some on here. I saw some here. The first three, the first what's that? First six sentence, first 6 words on here. I can definitely say this with my dearest sentiments. I am
Okay.
not anti first date sex. Okay, let me repeat that again. I am not anti first date sex, but I am not necessarily for it. Well, I wouldn't say that, but as a therapist, I know there's very, very important truly to know not only someone's intentions, but also whether their actions align with them and their heart to figure out upon first meeting them.
Right.
Waited
You're
at least 2 days.
gambling.
I
You're
mean,
gambling.
it's listen. I can definitely see the benefits of it. It'll definitely let you know if that person is actually interested in you. If you hold out, you know what I mean. You can kind of, you know, some guys will wait out because they may have some on the side, right? Just being honest, but
Right. I've
but
heard
for the
that.
most part, I can see where waiting a few dates, it's definitely a benefit. It can tell you a little bit more what a person's intentions can probably be. I can definitely agree with that part. But on the other hand, and
What?
that's the right hand. I mean, again, I am not an anti first date sex person either, right? So, um, there are some advantages to that. I mean, you can see what you probably working with on the front end. Okay, so what if you get interested in somebody, right? And then from a female's perspective, right? Let's just say, for instance, if you like somebody who you don't have no business liking, and one of the reasons why you might not like him is because how can I say this? He's not well endowed enough for you.
And so,
Then what you gonna do?
and
Go
so
ahead.
there it begins. So listen, I really want people to learn that sexual pleasure goes beyond size. Okay, there's so many
Okay.
ways. I'm sorry, it does. I think of course, we all, I guess, want somebody that's well endowed, and men want whatever
It
they're
is.
supposed to feel in sex. But sex really takes on so many turns and things based on the person you're with as well.
Right.
I have been with a man who is not well endowed that I actually cared about and stayed with for a while. That is not the reason why we broke up, that because he wasn't well endowed. Because there were so many other ways to enjoy sex with him
I believe
because
that.
of how I felt about him. And the pleasure came from him being able to know other ways to please me, just being able to enjoy sex together, the connection. So I think people, that if you get stuck on a big dick, if that's what's taking you there,
Okay.
then
Well,
you're going to miss out on some opportunities, on some
well,
good people.
Well, I just kind of mentioned that only because I mentioned that aspect of it. Yes, you can have sexual experiences with someone that's not well endowed. I definitely agree with you on that. But I guess what I'm saying is that sometimes you can start to get like a person. From what I hear, women, you found out that women don't listen. From what I hear, right? Even if you ain't tried it, right? Just to see that it's not the standard. From what I hear y'all conversation. I hear y'all talk.
Hey,
And
listen,
size does come up. Size
and
come up.
it does come up. But
Okay.
again, what I'm saying, and I'm speaking to women. I'm
Right.
speaking to women on this thing. That should not be. That's a sign of some that's a bit of a sign of some immaturity, right? It really is, because you're going to miss out because you don't really know yourself and how to please yourself if you're waiting for this big man to come by. There are so many other ways to enjoy sex with somebody. And if you will really get stuck if you just waiting on somebody to perform for you, right? To bring it to you. Like, do you know how to please yourself? If you learn how to please yourself as a woman, then you will learn how to teach that man how to please you in the bed. And if this is somebody who is good to you, I just think throwing away a person for and now itty bitty, but still, there's still
technically you better find out on the first couple of days what's going on down there.
No, you
and
don't.
Vice versa for men.
Well, touch it. Just rub this touch. Rub on the leg. You know,
and fellas, just whip it out on the first date.
Please don't. Please don't. Oh my God.
I'm talking. See, let's go one more. Don't freak out about who pays. You know what? Let me read this first part right here. It's almost this article was written in 2019 by a lady named Chloe Carmichael for the Women's Health magazine. Mm-hmm. So it's 2019. So it says almost 22 and it's time to stop forcing gender norms on dates, assuming you're female seeking a male partner. There's absolutely no reason a man has to pay for the first date. Just as much as there absolutely no reason for the woman shouldn't. This is the opportunity to do what makes you comfortable and stays within your values. Go ahead, Tmarie. I'm gonna let you start. I'm gonna sit back on this one. This came from Ms Carmichael, right? Ms Carmichael said this is a woman. Go ahead.
See, me and Ms Carmichael got some differences going on in this dating situation. Me and her need to have a conversation. But listen. Again. I'm a big component of setting the standard, okay? And I'm a big component of setting the standard when it comes to a male and female dating for a man to set the standard. I do agree. That just creates an interest that lets a woman know that, hey, this is common courtesy, basically, one. But two, it's like, I got you. Like, I'm courting you. I got you. Let's do this. I think the whole thing about, for me on first dates for men, I think they should pay. I really do. But I don't think you should spend a whole bunch of money. And anybody who knows me knows that I don't believe that a man should spend a whole bunch of money on a first date. I think that's crazy. I wouldn't do it if I was a man myself. But if you're not paying, I'm not staying.
Right.
I'm not. You're not pursuing me. You're not setting that standard of leadership to pursue me. And I know many people are like, well, what does money have to do with leadership? It's not the money. It's not the money. It's the fact that you are dating me. You're pursuing me. You want me to stay a woman.
We're not dating each other?
You know, you want me to be feminine, right? Oh, feminine. You want me to be feminine. So pursue me as a woman. Pursue me in that manner.
But Tmarie, you just made a self-statement.
How?
The self-statement says you're dating me. No, we dating each other. What are you talking about?
You're okay. So you're pursuing. No, we might be going.
No, we're pursuing you.
We're dating each other. Okay, but
right, pursuit goes both ways, though. You don't think
it does? But here's the problem. Now, this is exactly why we are in this position of why women are so quote unquote have this masculine whatever energy. Right. Because now when women start taking that stance, we also, and I say we because I'm a woman, start shifting toward that level of, okay, now I'm running stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And we gotta quit talking about this as if all this shit is supposed to be equal. Dating in relationships is supposed to be equal respect, right? But not necessarily equal in how we, pursue each other, if that makes sense. Because I'm not saying I shouldn't pursue and do things for you, but the beginning should always, the standard should be set by the man, especially since y'all.
We should set the tone.
Yeah, talk about these women so masculine. I watched a girl today talk about a man not pursuing her, and she was all like this, talking so hard because of the way this dating structure has been set up. There was nothing soft about her. it was all about, if he don't do this, then I ain't gonna do that. It was, and it's based on, because she has this level of, I don't want to say power, but this level of, I got it, or I'm whatever. If you're not gonna pursue me and I gotta pursue you, then it was just very, very masculine, or very hard, or very, it was very hard. And I could see it was like, because she's thinking about how she would have to deal with a man if a man don't do this. I'm like, where is this coming from? And it's coming from this energy of men wanting to be equal. Well, I want to be taken out too, but I want to be pursued too. That is a follow-up. That's a follow-up thing. We as women do that for a man who sets the tone and lets us know that we can do that with you.
Okay, so this right here, so based upon what you just said and based upon what I'm reading here, tying it to, we're talking about paying, right? So we're talking about paying. So basically what it sounds to me is that when women say, well, money's not a factor, well, money is a factor, because right here, from what I'm reading, what Tmarie is saying, money plays a factor.
It's not the money. It's the gesture. It's not the money.
It's the gesture,
if I said $1,500, then money is a factor. But if I'm saying, hey, let's go for ice cream and you shell out,
it's the gesture.
It's the gesture.
So would you feel a certain kind of way if a guy asked you to go Dutch on the first date? Would you feel a certain kind of way?
I absolutely would.
Why? I'm just curious.
Because I would feel away. And the reason why I would feel away, again, it's the same thing. I don't feel like there's a standard being set of you pursuing me, you courting me or whatever. But I personally would feel away, and I'm not going to date you no more. I'm not going back out with you because you didn't have enough respect just to be like, well, let me show you, again, as a gesture, not because it's all this money, but as a gesture that, I want to do this for you. I'm interested in you, and I want to do this for you.
Right. Okay.
Quit saying you want feminine women if you want to act like a girl.
Oh, man.
Stop it. You can't have it both ways.
I mean, I think for men to pay. I mean, yeah, first date I would definitely fit the bill. I mean, just don't my I'll just say this. This is just, don't make it a habit of you calling me when you're ready to eat. You know what I mean? That's the only thing about it.
So for men, let me tell men now, I'm pro man when it comes to that. Don't let no woman just call you up when she hungry. Watch how she does, and again, don't spend all that money on her on the first date.
I know.
Allow her to show you that she's interested in you too, right? Allow her to do that.
Right.
Don't spend all that money, y'all. I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it, sir.
Feel free to do some of the planning yourself. Right. Feel free to do some of the planning yourself.
And I guess that's from a woman's perspective.
From a woman's perspective. Yeah. What do you feel about that?
I agree. I think we're just in a tone where all this. I definitely agree that you can do some of the planning. We love for you to plan, but yeah, because some people you may be with a man who just haven't done that before, and we gotta understand that everybody haven't have the same dating experiences. So just because a man hasn't planned or didn't, it just may be that he hasn't done it. He doesn't really know how to do it. So I'm okay with helping you help me. So if I need to do it, let's do it.
Yeah, I think the first date, I know a lot of times women definitely want men to take the initiative. I think that's to me that almost that the initiative, right, to do it outweighs the gesture of paying for me, right? Because it's thought. It's thought behind that, right? Mm-hmm. It's easy to pull the money out and put the card out, right? But just to sit up here and come up with with a date, probably should outweigh of anything, because it feels good to be, you're catered to on that first date. We're gonna make this date special
Yeah.
for you, and to put thought in it. To me, I think that outweighs more than anything for me.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
And most
So,
women love that.
right.
When that happens, we're all in. Like we're all in because of the fact that you are like, you know what, you set the tone. Just remember, men, y'all set
We tone
the
setters.
tone.
Yes, I do agree. I do
Yeah.
because, and I'm gonna touch on that. We definitely have to set a tone because we have to remember, fellas, that when we're out dating, there is a lot of women, and I'll definitely say rightfully so, that are definitely the weight of the world is on their shoulders, right? There's a saying, they say that the pressure should be on the hips and not the shoulders. You know what I'm saying? So when they're on the shoulders like that, you do have to set the tone on what's next. You have to observe the situation, plan, and then move forward. Move forward on what that action should be. So let's go ahead and move to the last one. Let's just go ahead and move up. Let me see. Move up to the last one. Eat whatever the heck you want.
And I'm on. And
Go ahead. I don't hear this one. Go ahead, Tmarie.
I have never been that person that think you're supposed to eat light or eat a salad or eat a certain thing because you're out with a man. No, please be you. Please be you, authentically you. So eat what you want. I'm gonna eat what I want. That trust me, and I am. But I just think that you should eat what you want. Now that doesn't mean on his dime eat everything on the menu. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to, and I think that's what it's saying. But
No.
it is saying eat how you like to eat. You don't have to eat prim. You don't have to eat a salad, and it does say that. And eat how you would eat regularly. Absolutely.
Yeah, eat regularly, but I'm gonna add a caveat to that. Right?
Okay, what?
Eat whatever the heck you want. That if you had to pay for it, that you can afford it.
I agree. Yeah, I'm with
Right.
that. Don't eat like you got somebody else paying
Eat
for it. You right.
like you
right.
would eat.
Exactly.
Don't eat because this is your chance to get what you wish you could have had. You know what I mean? If you never bought a lobster steak with spinach cream and dessert and calamari for appetizer,
Right.
with 4 shots of Casamigos and whatever else you drink in a Moscow Mule.
Don't do
Why
that.
you gonna do it now?
Right. I agree. 100%. And ladies,
Right.
just to be clear, that holds a lot of weight with a man when he sees that you're considering that he's paying.
Right.
It does. So be considerate when you're out. Just don't look at his pockets. Don't spend all this. Be considerate. Eat what you want to eat, but make it
Be
make
considerate. That's
sense.
all I ask. That's all I ask.
Absolutely.
That's all I ask.
Because they
So,
still
look.
will leave you with the check. They can.
Yeah, we're not obligated. We can always go to the cash register and be like, okay, look, here's what we're gonna do.
It's my
Go tell
fault.
the waitress, look, okay, this right here, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Boom. See her over there sitting. Look, take her. That was her right there. Go ahead and
That's
take that over
hers.
there. Right.
Right.
That's us over there. So
That's right.
eat whatever you want. So let's go back to the top and just kind of go run through each one. I'm gonna read them down again, starting from the top. Let me see. Let me go from the top again. Let's go ahead and start. And right there, date multiple people at once. That's
Agreed.
number one. You kind of touched on that. Okay, let's go to number 2. Keep the date short, as the article
Agreed.
says. It says 90 minutes. I think the 90 minutes is a good time frame.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
So number three, be upfront about wanting a relationship.
Agreed.
Absolutely. All right, and number 4, avoid talking about exes on early dates.
Absolutely agreed.
Absolutely. All right, number 5, pay more attention to the follow through than advanced planning. Yes,
Agreed.
follow through is definitely important.
Yes. Yep.
All right. Don't feel obligated to send a thank you text.
You know how I feel about that one. I don't necessarily agree with that.
Right. I think it's courteous. I think it's very courteous of you to do
fellas.
that.
If you don't get one, that means she don't like you. Okay, I'm just
Right,
letting you know.
right. All right, give them number 7. Give them 2 weeks to reach out again. Give them up to 2 weeks.
Disagree. No,
Okay.
I'm not with Chloe on this one.
Right. You know me. Hey, life be life sometimes. Wait at least a few days to have sex.
I agree. I can definitely expound more on that one, but I definitely agree.
Hey, do what you want to do, man. don't, don't freak out about who pays. Definitely. Yeah, don't. You have to pay. We already know Tmarie about what
Pay,
she says
sir.
about that.
Pay.
Feel free to do some of the planning yourself. It's definitely. I understand that.
It's a
Eat
give and
whatever the
take.
heck you want. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of wanted to. I kind of wanted to kind of go over those with you. I thought it being Friday. Those are some great tips. I know some of y'all will be
Thursday.
going on
It's not Friday.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Tomorrow.
okay. Tomorrow being Friday.
Yeah, these are tips for tomorrow.
Oh yeah. So for y'all get ready to go
Right?
on your Friday
Yeah,
day.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. My
yeah.
bad.
Because I know some of you women out there probably got 3, 4 lined up. So,
No,
all right.
girl, go
Hey,
at 5, go at 7, go at 9. There you
and go
go.
with
That's your 90 minutes on each
right.
one.
Well, just right about that. Don't spend
Yep.
too much time. Don't too much time, and make sure you gather that information out.
Right.
It's definitely that time where things are a little slower too, as far as like movement. You know what I mean? I can definitely say my tip would be I'm gonna do tip 12, which is me. I just thought of some. I just thought of one. Tip 12 of me would be, I think the main one would be for me would be definitely telephone conversations, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I think telephone conversations are great, especially when you're going on your first date, right? Fellas, you can win a lot of points if you get enough information, right? Because the moment when you sit across from her from that first date, those phone conversations, you can remind her of some of the things that she probably mentioned to you.
Right.
And makes it a lot much easier. Oh, okay, he's paying attention. He's not just looking at my cleavage, just
Right.
hanging out or whatever. You know what I mean? So I definitely say phone conversations are definitely needed, especially before you go on a first date, right? I think that's virtually important. I think the art of conversation has left.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely.
With the internet, everything being so visual, we're not getting the time to know a person. And I always say the people who you see on social media, they're not that person,
Yeah.
right? So I do suggest you actually, phone conversations are great. What do you think about that? And then if you have one extra tip you want to add with that list too as well, Timmy, what do you think about that?
I do agree with you on that. That conversation is very important prior to, because
Right.
like you said, it loads you with information and gives you some opportunities to expound on some things you've already talked about. And it does give you the opportunity to recall. We love when you recall something that we've said to you, because what it says to us is that you were paying attention to what we were talking about, and you cared enough to retain that information. So we like that.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah, I love it, man.
What I would say is I don't believe that dinner dates and movies are not the best first dates. I do not.
That would be a rule.
Yeah, I think dinner dates and movies are not the best first dates. I think anything that that will require you to see a person in another element of interest is great. So think about what that person likes to do. So if they like to do a museum, if they like art, if they like music, put them in an element of something that they enjoy. And that way you can not only see them in that element, but you can have conversations and get to know them as well. So all you can really do over dinner is eat. You can talk some, but you're eating. And movies, you're not talking at all. So do something that can allow you to, after you've had that conversation with that person, to see that person in their element of something that they're interested in. I think you'll really get to know how a person operates in the element of their interest.
Yeah, and then fellas, I'm just gonna say, like, yeah, dinner dates are played out. They kind of played out on the first date. You know what I mean? Because everybody's doing it. Be unique. Be
Yeah.
unique in your approach. things that women are definitely in. One thing I've noticed about women is that you guys like adventure, right? You like excitement. You like to unknown. Oh, I wonder what he gonna do tonight, girl. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you guys like that. So if you can like plan something that plan something a little bit more different than the dinner dates. Exactly. I think the dinner dates are. Everybody's doing it. Be different. Be different. Definitely don't do a movies. You can't. I don't know what. You can't do nothing in the movie. But grab a thigh. That's it.
Like nothing is nothing. There's no level of any type of interaction in the movie whatsoever. So you definitely don't do movies. Yeah.
And my bonus rule is put a rub on. No.
Ma'am, don't even
do it. I'm not even gonna go that one. I'm not gonna go that route tonight. But
that's
all right. But Sue, we just wanted to kind of jump online and go over that with you. It's the holiday season.
Yes.
For those who have someone, I guess treat them right. Treat them right this holiday. You know what I mean? If you've been doing the wrong all
is that the damn gift? Treat them right. That's
right. Treat them right. Treat them right. At least be good for the rest of the year. You know what I'm saying? What happens next year is what you do. But if you know you've been wrong the whole year, let's make it right. Let's go to 2024, and maybe you can carry that right.
Be a time that you make amends. I just don't understand.
Because if they ain't did it all year, I'm trying to get them at least a corner of time where they can kind of straighten shit out. You know what I mean? Like
that's funny.
Make somebody feel special. It make them feel special for sure. Dating is definitely important. That's why I want to bring these to you. Tmarie, go ahead. Like I know there were some things you got coming up. I mean, people may want to be interested in, and then I'm gonna go ahead. I got an idea too on to run by you here on live, but go ahead.
I love it. So this is the season. It's so funny. I just got through with a client, and this is the season. Not just this season, but we're going back to the time where it's hard to meet people. Online dating is not like it used to be, okay? And we've gotten to the point where so many times when online dating was popular in the beginning, you could kind of trust people to be a little bit more who they are, who they were, who they represent. But now it's just gotten to the point where you're meeting a whole bunch of representatives. People aren't who they say they are. People, just a whole lot of stuff that online dating isn't what it used to be. I have tips for that. But I think, like I've always said, the best way to meet somebody is in person, right? The best way to meet somebody is in person. And for a long time, the best way to meet somebody was for somebody to introduce somebody to somebody. So I have an event, and it's definitely by invitation only. I do have a few more slots left where I am inviting 10 men and 10 women to meet. So these are 10 dating single men and 10 dating single women, the opportunity to get to know each other. And they have to be an even number. I don't want a bunch of women and 2 men, because I have to give everybody the opportunity to meet and mingle with someone. But we get to have conversation. And we're going to have cognitive conversation. So I'm also dealing with people who actually want to be on the same page about dating and get some real results in dating. So everybody that I've gotten so far is crazy excited. And I do have an opportunity for 2 more women and 2 more men. And if you are interested, you can email me or hit up Mark. My email is Tmarie, number 4, letter U at Gmail. Tmarie, Tmarie, the number 4, letter U at Gmail. And I will vet you. It's very important. I'm not choosing just anybody. I am vetting you to see if you would fit in this demographic of intimate conversation. So my gift to you all is giving you a partner for Christmas, helping you get yourself set up to have great partnership for the holiday.
Right, yeah. And I'm sure she's gonna make it. She's gonna make it definitely interesting for you guys to show up to that.
Yes,
fellas.
I know.
I had to say a quick pair of fellas out here. And no, you know what? I'm gonna do this the opposite way.
Okay.
Ladies, I'm gonna address it this way.
Okay.
Ladies, anytime you see a man that's on any platform that's complaining about dating, right? Simply ask him, what are you doing to make sure that you find the person you want for you, right? And the reason why I'm saying is because we set situations up where I hear a lot of the guys, feel a certain kind of way about what women are, what women don't want, and women playing games. We have situations that women are ready to be in serious dating relationships, but the men aren't showing up, right? There's no reason for you to complain about, and not even just what me and Tmarie can offer, but there are plenty of events that are across town where people are actually trying to meet, and we always say, well, where the good women at? Where the good men at? Here's the thing. Where's the right attitudes at?
Woo.
I'm going to go ahead and just call it for the way I see it. And the right attitude is to, regardless of what you may see around you, is to create your own environment, your own situation. The environments are being created, but the men aren't showing up. The environments are created, but men and some women complain, right? But their attitudes aren't right when there are situations and environments that are set up for you to have a positive experience, but you come in with a negative mindset, So you're doing yourself an injustice, It's cold outside. Who are you holding?
Who are you?
You know what I mean? Who are you holding? You know what I'm saying? And what we always say, the common denominator in that is you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You are holding yourself back. You know what I mean? You are holding someone else you're holding your future on someone else's actions. That person has definitely taken over your direction in what you want in dating. So take that back by getting your mind right, coming to some of these panels, coming to some of these events, and let's change the situation. It's time to stop talking about what's wrong, because there's a lot of right out there.
It's a lot of right.
It's a lot
of right out there. And so again, like Mark said, it's your attitude and your energy that's you're attracting really what you're talking about. So if you're always talking negative and saying there's nothing out there, you're going to get absolutely that, nothing. So you have to open your mind to being able to receive, okay, here's an opportunity. Let me set myself up. I think people who are just talking and not showing up are doing just that, talking. If you're not doing anything about it, then you're not going to yield any results. And I just need you to be quiet. Just say you don't want nothing and just shut up. Don't complain about there is nothing. Just say you're not willing to do anything and move out of the way, right? But if you want something, then again, take the opportunity to step out and see what's out there. I'm excited because I can't wait. This is going to be so fun, and it's going to be so good because it's some beautiful folks, and that's another thing I love. I love, like, not because you're not ugly, not because ugly people can't get, but what I'm saying, this is a good look. This is beautiful people.
And she's talking about beautiful and ugly inside.
Yeah. Thank you for fixing that for me. Thank you for fixing that. Yeah, on the inside.
Right.
And I just want you to get the opportunity to meet people, because this is what I do. And so this is my freebie for some people. I want to give people the gift of love, of companionship, because I know what that does for people. I know what it does for people. So I want to be able to give that to somebody.
Okay, and so also tell us about your matchmaking service.
So my matchmaking service, Date Great. I actually am a matchmaker, and I am taking the opportunity. I can't wait to match good people with good people, and that's it. Now, please, and I coach. So please, please, please don't reach out to me if you got complaints. I do not take complaints. I do not take people that are complaining. The only way I can take you, if you're open to, first of all, looking at yourself to make some interchanges, right? And then secondly, being realistic about what dating looks like for you. But I've had great success. I've actually got some marriages under my belt, just unofficial before I came into this profession professionally. But I've definitely learned about how to create an atmosphere to help people meet great people. So I'm excited about that. But you can catch my services at KatrinaMarie.net. And I have a 30-minute consultation for free going on for the holidays. And then see if we can get you started.
Right, and also understand, and I want you to touch on this too. I've heard this before. A lot of these platforms, a lot of times they always say, well, how can a matchmaker match someone and they're not matched, right?
I get that.
I've heard that. Kind of touch on that.
Well,
What's your
for one, I have experience. Okay,
right.
I have life experience. So one, I've been married, and then I've been engaged to successfully able to match myself with great people. I know my first husband, that I wasn't ready then, but I had the experience. But my second mate was my dude. He unfortunately passed away, but that was my dude. But this is what I will say. I am a coach, right?
Right.
And as a coach, I teach people who are coachable. All coaches are not in the game. A lot of coaches didn't even play the game. But what they did was they gained the tools and the knowledge to teach you how to play the game. And so I definitely am more strategic about how I date, but I definitely can teach you how to get the results that you want. I know how to get what I'm looking for, and I can, and you'll see it soon. But I can teach you how to get the dates that you want. A lot of this starts with your attitude. I'm telling y'all, it starts with your inner energy and your attitude. Then the next part we'll talk about is where you putting yourself out there. But yeah, I'm a coach. And if you think about some of the Super Bowl coaches, I'm telling you, they never played. I did my research on that.
Right. And Phil Jackson was a mediocre. He wasn't mediocre. He was a good NBA player, but he coached Michael Jordan, which was the greatest. You know what I mean? So we can see the game a little bit more differently. Yes, get therapy. Go to the specialists, the PhDs, the RBOs, the HBOs, and all that other stuff. Go get that. You know what I'm saying? If you need that, this is, to me, I look at this is like almost grassroots. And I mean grassroots are when it gets real. When you have people that build platforms such as this. I'm definitely. I always start off. I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a matchmaker. I'm not anything other than a person with a mic and an opinion, and also experiences. That's the main thing. I am a man. I always say this. Fortunately, unfortunately, I have been a man that have indulged in women in my life. You know what I mean? I can definitely admit that. So with that, my experiences are my experience with those particular women, but I found common things that connect most women or all women. There's one of the most important things. I don't care that I haven't dated a million women, but I know a million women want security, right? I've experienced that, even though I haven't dated a million, but I can basically say that based upon my own experiences. So, I'm definitely not versed in any certificates, degrees, or anything in that, but I can definitely tell you that you're going to get some real conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it real. We're going to have fun. We're going to make it lighthearted. The things that make you cry, we're going to make you laugh. You know what I'm saying? So then we're going to find solutions. At the end of the day, it's about solutions. You know what I mean? Right. We got the problem. So now here are the solutions.
Everybody knows the problem.
Right.
It's everywhere.
Right. These are the solutions.
Right.
And look, I had this idea. Look, I'm gonna talk to you about it on live. So how about this? I was thinking about this.
Okay.
We should do a game show type show, right? With couples, right? Okay. It's gonna be called How Much Do You Know About Them? Right? And it's going to be a series of questions. We're going to have couples. It could be marriage couples. Look, also, some of the information, too, if you're married out there, this platform is also for you. Tmarie has some things for you married people, because married people, you still have to date. Dating is definitely important. How you got them, fellas, that's how you're going to keep them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you're a date, exactly. Don't you go from putting don't don't put your dirty drawers back on when you had the clean drawers on when you try to meet her. You know what I'm saying?
Please
Keep the same drawers on. You know what I mean?
keep
Keep
that
the
same
same
energy.
energy. Right.
Please, please.
Right. So this particular show would be, we'll have the couples on. Even if you're first dating a person, let's just say, for instance, how we can make it fun, how people can bring their person that they just met. We can have like a show where that we're gonna ask you guys questions, and we're gonna see who's been paying attention throughout the whole,
Yeah,
dating process. I think that'll be fun.
that will be.
If we have any couples out there that want to go ahead and try it out, we can
Let's
actually
do it.
do. If you don't want to do it live, we actually can do a pre-recorded to give you guys some time, to figure it out before we go live. I'll actually offer that. You can hit me in my inbox. You can hit Tmarie. We can definitely have that particular game. What do you think about that, Tmarie?
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be
Yeah,
fun. It's
that'll
fun
be
and
fun.
teachable. Teachable moments
Yeah,
can come from that. So that'll be fun.
that'll be
I
fun.
definitely am with that. Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. So we'll do that again. These platforms will be for everybody because
Yes.
dating needs to follow suit with all couples or potential customers.
Yeah.
Damn, they are customers, but
You
potential. They're
Customers,
customers.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Other than that, we wanted to jump online for a few moments. You guys got to get your rest, get rested up for your dates tomorrow. Don't come with your bags up under your eyes.
Friday. Yeah.
What else? Put a rub on.
He is
What else?
stuck about this condom.
Put a rub on. Rub
He's
on.
still don't that just sound nasty, y'all? Put a
know,
rub on.
I mean,
That is so nasty.
I
Use
mean-
this condom. Please use
I
condom.
mean, yeah. That's my biggest tip for the day. Other than that, anything else, Team Maria?
No, I don't think so. I just
Okay.
again, I always say this platform is something amazing. You guys need to take advantage of it. Mark has some great people that he brings on, and I think some of the ideas that he's coming up with is I'm glad to see that we are creating, and hopefully not just a solution-based relationship conversations, because I think there's been enough damage inflicted upon us as Black African Americans, and maybe other races too, but it does more damage to our culture, which does more damage to our families and our communities. And so we have to get back on the right track to where we understand that family is the core, and how we feel about each other is the beginning of setting a solid foundation. So I love that we're doing this. I love that Mark is creating this, and we just about to knock 24 out. We're gonna knock I
24
say
out.
by the end of the year, Mark, by the end of next year, we're gonna have created 50 couples. 50
Hey
couples.
man, that's a goal. That's how many that a month? That's
That's a little over
12,
two.
2, yeah.
A little
But
over
no,
two.
2 times 12 is 24, so that'd be four a
Four.
month.
A little over four.
Right.
Yep. So 50
A little
couples
bit over 4 a month.
by
Right.
the end of the year.
Hey, you know what? That's a good goal.
Yeah.
But look, also subscribe. Please look, listen. Ain't nobody charging y'all nothing. I'm gonna say this. It's gonna cost you later. If it don't cost you now, it's gonna cost you later. I'm gonna be honest, and because there's so much I got planned, and I want to make sure those who support are definitely the ones I definitely appreciate it, and both platforms, hers, ours, date night, the date great, the reset. All of it, what I'm saying, subscriptions and subscribing to these particular channels, definitely not only just a confident boosters. I mean, because honestly, this is free work. We're working, but we're working to get the information out for everybody to learn something. So the biggest thing that you can repay for me is to subscribe to the channels, leave comments, and share. So other than that, that's all I have. We do appreciate your time. Okay. All right. Good night.
Good night.